better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. Because what we know,
This is Kamala Harris in Detroit, Michigan, about 8 hours ago now. And that's the way that she pretty much was speaking to the people in her rally, which I'm guessing she assumed because Detroit is more predominantly black, that she thought it would be a smart idea to talk almost, I guess you could call it somewhat like a slave that just obtained their freedom. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, that's exactly how Kamala Harris wanted to come in when she first spoke to the people of Detroit, which there is a strong contrast in comparison to how she spoke to the people at Pittsburgh, which has her under fire right now over this. So let's go again. This is how Kamala Harris spoke to the people in Detroit.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. Because what we know.
And this is the comparison. This is how she spoke in Pittsburgh.
Thank unions for sick leave. Thank unions for paid family leave. Thank unions for your vacation time. Thank unions.
It is a bold-faced lie to believe that this woman sit here and talk like that. That is crazy that she completely shifted and code switched for the location that she in. And yet again, this is reminding us that we're not dealing with the woman, we're dealing with the politician. And a politician is a little bit less than human because they are willing to shapeshift and manipulate the people and become whatever they deem is necessary to win the vote. Now, I will call this downright disgusting. The fact that she just constantly, like I said in my last YouTube video, putting on a black face and masquerading as black when she deemed it necessary. But the main problem is her perception of what black is and what she's willing to push out as what black is. If she is speaking in predominantly black areas, what does it say about how she feel about her black voters if she's speaking in Ebonics? What does this say? I don't see Democrats go and try to win the Asian vote and bring a Kung Fu martial arts studio. I don't see when they try to win the Italian vote, Democrats bring out a big plate of spaghetti. I don't see that typically. And I don't see with the Irish, them bringing out a bunch of beers because it would be deemed disrespectful. Not Irish might like it because Irish are crazy, but for most, it would be deemed disrespectful. And that is just simple representation. Not only that they are doing disrespectful representation of us, they are making black people look like absolute fools because this tells me that she believes that's what black is to speak in Ebonics.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank.
So that's what she thinks about the black voters.
Thank unions.
This is what she believes about the white.
For sick leave. Thank unions for paid family leave.
It is so bold that I don't understand how any black Democrat can continue to vouch for this nonsense. This is absolutely disrespectful. I'm not reaching. This is bad. This is bad. I'm looking at the comments right now and people agree it's disrespectful. You cannot choose to be black and then choose to turn it off. You can't decide when to be black because I found out with these politicians, they want to be black until it's time to really be black. They don't really want to be black. It's absolutely disrespectful. And to think there's a time where you could call conservatives Uncle Tom and all this derogatory words when you have people out here defending this nonsense. It's crazy. We have our same people that are talking about Dr. Ben Carson and will approve of this. Don't care that white people, Asian people, all these people are looking at this and looking at what they believe because of Kamala Harris is what a black person sounds like. That is disrespectful. What makes this any different than them crows on Dumbo? It's absolutely no different from what she's doing right here. Then I's done scenes about everything. That's exactly what she's doing. She's literally doing the crow from Dumbo to represent Black Americans, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people constantly. Oh man, they are constantly gaslighting Black Americans by saying that this is representation. This is disrespectful, and no one is voting for this.
Thank unions for the union member for paid leave.
Like I said, you do not see them, these Democrats, ever, 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 when they try to win the votes of other people, pander as hard as they do with Blacks. The only things or communities I see this with is the Black community or the LGBT. I don't see this with other communities, or especially with ethnicities. They are very careful with the way that they present themselves with other ethnicities. They don't pander the same way they do with Blacks. They don't put on these different slangs. They don't talk Asian when they talk to the Asians. They don't talk Irish when they talk to the Irish. And they don't talk Portuguese when they talk to Portuguese. They talk whatever you can deem a Black American slang, and that's just slang. Because it's one thing to talk like a Black person, and it's another thing to talk like a Black person with slang. She's using slang. You're a presidential candidate. How is this deemed okay? To legitimately use slang in an attempt to relate to Black Americans. Typically, even you have Black Americans that are doctors, etc., but using slang typically is something that we don't really too much so do in the workplace, especially not as a presidential candidate. And it just shows that they don't understand what we deem as values in our own community. These are the same people that are breaking up the nuclear family, the same people that are destroying the Black community, the same people that are waiting on us to come back to them every 4 years. Something has to change. This is absolutely, to me, one of the greatest attempts of pandering I've ever seen. And it is downright disrespectful. And I'm telling you, it brought us back about 60, 70 years, because all she's missing is one of those bandanas on her head and a big pot and a big spoon. Because she definitely looks like and sounds like one of those mammy Blacks from way back in the past. And I tell you what, it's 2024. You can't win no Black vote sounding like no mammy Black. They are so outdated, so out of touch. They have so out of tune of what the voters believe, because they have been outside of the community. Either they've never been in it, or they've been so privileged for so long that they've been outside of it for far too long to even relate. Nonetheless, we are getting reminders every day on why we should consider voting for Donald Trump.